Down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Before she was the mayor of L.A., Karen Bass spent a good amount of time walking the halls of Congress. So Craig Figner talked to her about what is going on there now.
This federal government shutdown has an unusual component, applying pressure on lawmakers. That's what L.A. Mayor Karen Bass is telling KNX News. That unusual pressure, she says, comes from when Elon Musk was an influential figure in D.C. in the Trump administration with his Doge cutbacks.
We started off the year with Elon Musk and Doge slashing thousands of jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs. So we already had a limited workforce on the federal government. Well, when you have a shutdown, then everybody is immediately laid off or they don't get paychecks. Furloughed. And so what that's going to mean then is that the impact of this shutdown is going to be quicker than it would have been if the workforce hadn't been decimated, 6 months ago. So what that means...
5:25. Let's get a check of traffic brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. And on over to Scott.
We've got a motorcycle wreck, a new one here. This one not looking good. This is 10 westbound at Grand, not the one in downtown, the one in West Covina here. Looks like it's going to be between Villa Verde and Grand. Injury crash blocks the carpool lane. Already getting kind of tough here, leaving the 57. West of this, it gets slow again. Kind of unusual here for the West 10 into Baldwin Park. Starts to slow around Azusa Avenue again over toward the 605 and then 10 eastbound on and off slowing. Monterey Park, Alhambra as you work your way into West Covina. Southern California Toyota dealers in Sinai View. West 105 Long Beach Boulevard. We've got a multiple vehicle crash just reported here. Looks like they're getting that to the right-hand shoulder. They're slowing, though, back to the 605. That, again, is on the West 105 in Linwood there, and then East 105 on and off tough there away from LAX Airport as you work your way pretty much over to the 605 freeway interchange as well. And still dealing with a wreck. It should be to the shoulder, 91 eastbound around the Weir Canyon truck scales. But it is heavy back through the 57. Expect on and off heavy traffic out past the 241. Injured at work, it's now easier than ever to find the injury help you need. Just text injury help to 40222. DTLA Law Group Injury Attorneys will help you get time off needed to recover and get you paid for injuries on the job. Text injury help to 40222 or type call downtown into your search bar. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Irvine Auto Center 24-hour traffic center.
Live to Dodger Stadium next.
Skyline's new chicken chili is here. Now you can enjoy that legendary Skyline taste with a new protein option. Try Skyline's chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Listen up, football fans. You at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
What's up, guys? It's Candace Dillard-Bassett.
And I'm Michael Arsenault, and this is Undomesticated.
We're putting it all on the kitchen table and inviting you to the function. Follow and listen to Undomesticated, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Scary IRS letters, tax settlement companies adding pressure? You need a lawyer and CPA. Call the law offices of Alan Forrester, CPA attorney with 27 years of experience in both law and accounting. Alan understands how to solve financial and tax problems. If you're facing tax filing and fines, property and business losses from fire or flood, or pressure from tax settlement companies, do not be intimidated. The IRS is subject to laws and he knows how to navigate them. Call 1-877-ALAN-TAX, 877-ALAN tax.
Casual Fridays may have turned into casual every day, but research shows that doesn't impress clients and prospects nearly as much as you might think. While it may be easy to slip on jeans and a sports shirt, you'll command a whole new level of respect from clients and colleagues when you step into a classically tailored suit. Today's high-achieving professionals know this. They move faster, leave stronger impressions, and get ahead of colleagues in polos and khakis. And let's face it, the right suit doesn't just fit, it captivates. If you want that edge without breaking the bank, there's only one place to go. Head down to the historic downtown fashion district, to Roger Stewart Clothes on South Los Angeles Street. Expert tailoring, imported Italian fabrics, many with the same quality as Canali and Armani for far less. No shortcuts, no compromises. Step into a wardrobe that reflects your true potential. Call Roger Stewart Clothes at 213-627-9661. Look like a million for a lot less. Roger Stewart Clothes. Suits that should be expensive, but they're not.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things, people.
If you've been hurt in a car crash or on the job, don't just hope for help, demand results. Postman Law delivers fast, easy, and effective representation fighting to get you more. Call 844-POSTMAN for a free case evaluation. It's free to get started. You pay nothing unless we win for you. Others promise. Postman delivers. Call 844-POSTMAN today. That's 844-POSTMAN.
From the DTLA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is Southern California's news.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
The three-game series moved quick. The Dodgers are just a win away from moving on in the postseason to the division series, trying to sweep the Reds tonight. First pitch, little over a half hour away. So let's go straight out to Dodger Stadium, where Natalie Tavidian is talking to the fans. And Natalie, how they feeling?
Yeah, Alex, that first pitch is at 6:08. Fans are streaming in. They're hoping this is the start of another championship run. The Dodgers hammered 5 home runs in Game 1. That was last night, tying a postseason team record. And I am speaking with fans. Some are excited, optimistic, and, of course, superstitious fans. What does it feel to be here at Dodger Stadium?
It's exciting. You know what? We did it last year, and I don't want to jinx it, but I have a good feeling about this year.
I mean, everybody's thinking it. They want the back-to-back, right?
That's right. I feel it. I'm just not going to say it.
What would that feel like?
You know what? It feels like confidence. It feels like deja vu. Like deja vu. That's what it feels like right now.
Were you here at Game 1 yesterday?
I wasn't, no. But I watched the highlights. I wasn't able to watch the game, but yeah. I'm thankful the Dodgers won.
What are your predictions for today?
I'm predicting a victory.
We'll see. It's a best-of-3 wild card series, and with a win tonight, the Dodgers would move on to face the Phillies in the division series. Alex, Dodgers fans here saying they're ready to witness something that the franchise has never done before.
One step at a time. Got to win tonight to avoid that Game 3. Thanks, Natalie. We'll get back to you at the top of the hour, right before first pitch.
I want to be remembered for having helped people to understand the true nature of animals, that they do matter as individuals, that they do have a part to play in the scheme of things, and they're not just objects, they're beings, and they're part of it.
That is what Dr. Jane Goodall will be remembered for. She was a legend. She was supposed to speak in Pasadena this morning, but she didn't show. Then word came she had died at the age of 91. Our Karen Adams was there when that word came.
Together we can, together we will, and together we must change the world.
That's Dr. Goodall's words remembered here at EF Academy, where she was to launch the student-led initiative Trees to plant 5,000 trees in LA's fire areas in 3 to 5 years. But instead, the news of her death was announced.
Now everybody together, very loud that you'll hear us. Together we can, together we will, together we must change the world. To the most sacred woman I have ever met in my life to inspire us in education. She will live within us, and we're strong, and we have her inside of us.
After the program, a ceremonial tree planting by the students and officials here, including LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger.
The work that she's done, it has been incredible. But today is really teaching our young people about planting trees and how important they are to this earth. And I can't think of a more fitting way to remember her today than to plant this tree.
She says the Trees initiative will continue Dr. Goodall's legacy, especially in Altadena, where it's estimated the fires destroyed 50% of the city's trees. In Pasadena, I'm Karen Adams, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
You know, one of the things that she studied and observed was that chimpanzees grieve a lot like humans do. And so many people around the world are grieving Jane Goodall today. 6 years ago, she made a memorable visit on her birthday to L.A. City Hall as they declared it Jane Goodall Day.
What an amazing honor to begin my 85th birthday right here with all of you. You know, I mean, I'm just me, and I hear all these things said about me and what I've done, and I think I'm hearing about somebody else. But I suppose it is me. You all know that I've spent so much of my time with chimpanzees, other animals too. But let me greet you. Let me bring the voice of the chimpanzee into this space, I believe, for the very first time, and greet you. Me, Jane. You'd be amazed if I gave you a list of the high-ranking people I greeted as a chimpanzee.
That was classic Jane Goodall on April 3rd, 2019. 5:35. Scott Burt in the Irvine Auto Center Traffic Center. Nobody else could get away with making noises like that, right?
No, I don't think I could do that on a traffic report or something. But
please don't.
that was pretty interesting, though. Okay, let's get to the valley here, Alex. Granada Hills, West 118 at Balboa. There's a stalled van blocking the carpool lane, so we'll keep looking at that. It's starting to get kind of slow. Back to the 405 there. In West 118 Balboa. West 134 San Fernando Road, new crash reported. Let's see here, 60 going westbound around Paramount. We've got a wreck that just got reported into CHP. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Eastbound's pretty tough. We also have this West 10 Grand wreck, motorcycle crash. Carpool lane tough, blocked. That's backed up through the Kellogg interchange. And we do have an issue 91 eastbound at the Scales, still clearing up there, pretty much heavy through the 57. And a stall on the 91 west at Lakeview, Alex. That's heavy back toward Imperial Highway.
All right, thanks, Scott. As you know by now, the government is shut down for the first time in almost 7 years. Going to stay that way for at least a couple more days, probably longer. Senate won't be back until Friday. And there's no progress on a deal because they're still far apart. They haven't negotiated. The sticking point remains the health care subsidies. Republicans say the Democrats want subsidies for illegal immigrants. Democrats say that's not what they want. They just want regular people's health insurance bills to not go up. Vice President J.D. Vance spoke at the press briefing at the White House this morning.
What they have done instead is to shut down the government because we won't give billions of dollars to health care funding for illegal aliens. That is what has actually happened. To the American people who are watching, the reason your government is shut down at this very minute is because, despite the fact that the overwhelming majority of congressional Republicans and even a few moderate Democrats supported opening the government, the Chuck Schumer AOC wing of the Democratic Party shut down the government because they said to us, we will open the government, but only if you give billions of dollars of funding for health care for illegal aliens. That's a ridiculous proposition.
Local Democratic Congressman Annette Barragan hit back at the claim about illegal immigrants.
It's not true. Republicans don't want to talk about health care for Americans, so they are out there putting out misinformation and disinformation. This is a fight about health care. It's about canceling the cuts to Medicaid that they passed in their big, ugly law. It's also about making sure that Americans' premiums don't go up. So if you get the Affordable Care Act, if you get some kind of financial assistance of subsidy to help pay for your health care, that premium is going to skyrocket unless Congress acts. So that is what we're fighting for. We're fighting to save health care for the American people.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says cruelty is the point for Republicans, and they are delighted to have shut down the government.
Why? Because they want to continue to hurt everyday Americans.
Vice President J.D. Vance says there are likely layoffs in the future.
We're going to have to save money in some places so that essential services don't get turned off in other places.
The 2019 government shutdown ran for 35 days. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Some food banks in Atlanta and Houston and other places are warning that if this continues, families will be in increasingly dire straits. And you heard there in that piece, normally when this happens, federal workers get furloughed, and according to the law, they get their paychecks when they come back to work, retro pay. But in this case, they are talking about laying off mass numbers of federal workers, and the vice president said that could happen imminently. Dozens of people have been arrested in Memphis in what they're calling the latest federal crackdown on crime. CBS's Nicole Valdez is there. City officials are divided about it.
Some say
well, let's work together with the federal task force. Let's see if they can actually bring meaningful, positive change here. But others worry that it could be an overstep. I mean, several of them responding to President Trump's comments yesterday, calling some of these cities that he intends to send these guard troops to as what could be training grounds for military operations. Many of them were not happy to hear that language. In fact, they say we wish we could have heard different language.
National Guard could be coming next. The big, very expensive expansion of the LA Convention Center broke ground this morning, just about a week after the city council passed it and the mayor signed it, even though there's a warning from city finance officials that we really can't afford it, puts the city's finances on a razor's edge. John Baird was there. He talked with Nella McOsker, who runs the Central City Association.
So what are your thoughts about this today?
It's monumental. It's exciting for a downtown business advocacy organization such as ours to be in this moment when we will finally be able to invest in a convention center that can host the biggest and brightest conventions across the globe. We literally have been turning away the biggest conventions because we couldn't accommodate them in this space. So the jolt of energy and investment that this provides the downtown business community is tremendous.
Well, some of these rooms, I've been in them, are gigantic, and you're saying there wasn't enough space, so will it be bigger?
We're creating more contiguous space. Right now, we can't fit the citywide conventions, the major large conventions that host 50,000 or more, that have been wanting to come to Los Angeles but literally couldn't fit. So we do have big space, but we're ranked somewhere in the 20s or the 30s in terms of size and contiguous space. We've been losing to Las Vegas, San Diego, Anaheim, and it's unacceptable. Los Angeles is a world-class city and destination. Downtown Los Angeles needs all of the investment and revitalization it can get.
There was some news that came out of that groundbreaking this morning. City Council member Curran Price went to the hospital because he got dizzy and collapsed. His office says he was dehydrated, but we've learned later today that he is going to be staying in the hospital overnight. Price has a lot hanging over him. He's supposed to be in court next month on those corruption charges over allegations he approved projects from developers who paid a company owned by his wife. It's 5:41 on Wednesday.
Halloween's here. Costumes, candy, and maybe a few scares. But nothing scarier than being ghosted by your insurance company after an accident. At Postman Law, we've delivered over $3 billion to our clients, and we make it simple. Speed, ease, results. With free case evaluations and no fee unless we win, you're never left in the dark. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers. This is attorney advertising.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
You're going to love On Fire. Follow and listen to On Fire with Jeff Probst on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Hey there, I'm Alex Silverman. Coming up on KNX News 97.1 FM. Dodgers and Reds Game 2 getting going in about 20 minutes at Chavez Ravine. New local forecast says more job losses are coming for the economy in California. And Jane Goodall dies at the age of 91. The tribute's pouring in. 5:45 now. Let's get on over to Scott Burt, brought to you by Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Scott, what's going on?
Update on our San Bernardino Freeway here, the 10 westbound heading into West Covina. This is just west of the 57, right around Villa Verde. It's the carpool left lane that's blocked here with our motorcycle wreck. LA County Fire on the scene there. Looks like the rider has a pretty serious leg injury. So fire department paramedics are tending to that person right now. We've got a backup through the Kellogg interchange. West of there, a lot better than it was. We did see a little slowing over toward Baldwin Park, but it is getting better now. The East 10 is heavy away from basically Boyle Heights here, right off the 5 freeway. On and off heavy traffic into Baldwin Park in West Covina, and actually gets a bit tougher on Kellogg Hill there. Looks like leaving Grand, slow traffic into the Pomona area. All right, to Orange County, can't catch a break today on the 91. We had the Sigler 91 eastbound right at the scales. They said they got everything cleared to the right-hand shoulder, but now we have a wreck reported 91 east at Gypsum Canyon. Southern California Toyota dealers in Sinai View. This wreck should be getting to the right-hand shoulder, but it's heavy essentially from the 57 as you work your way out past the 241. We had a little wreck on the 91 westbound around Lakeview as well, so that still looks pretty heavy from Imperial Highway. Getting over to the 55. North 55 is really heavy from the 405 up to the 91, and a crash reported south 55 right around Dyer Road. We'll keep an eye on that one. Again, south 55 at Dyer. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel proudly welcomes Mr. Worldwide Pitbull to Yamava Theater November 24th. Get tickets at the casino box office or YamavaTheater.com. See Pitbull performing live at Yamava Theater November 24th. Must be 21. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Irvine Auto Center 24-hour traffic center.
Temperatures remain 5 to 10 degrees cooler than average, despite the fact we have more sunshine today. We're still looking at temperatures running below average, a beautiful fall feel with all of that sunshine. We can thank the stormy weather to our north. Tomorrow, Thursday, will likely be the warmest day of the week, but temperatures still running several degrees cooler than average, mainly in the 70s in the metro area and our beaches, and mainly the low 80s inland. With your next weather forecast, I'm KCAL meteorologist Paul Diano for KNX News 97.1 FM.
73 at Santa Ana, also 73 here on LA's Miracle Mile. Government shutdown update. If you're just joining us, there really is no update. There were no real negotiations today, no closer to a deal. The Senate went home after one failed vote, and they're not coming back until Friday because tomorrow is the Yom Kippur holiday, so nothing will change at least until Friday. Could be a rough road ahead for the economy here in California over the next year. Pete Demetrio talked with economists at UCLA Anderson School, and they say there's several factors that could lead to a lot of people losing their jobs.
Clements Bohr, senior economist at the Anderson School of Management, says 3 factors, tariffs, deportations, and the uncertain effects of AI on job development and hiring, could lead to more joblessness in the state.
It's already been more elevated relative to, say, the U.S. and risen over the last couple of years since the pandemic, and we expect it to continue to rise by another 0.5 percentage point to a percentage point, just reaching to above 6%.
While the economic turndown could last until mid-2026, Bohr says there's a greater likelihood of an economic surge late next year.
We see 26 and 27 turning into a more positive outlook where unemployment is actually going to come down relatively quickly because of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which is going to give a lot of stimulus to the California economy in particular.
And on the plus side, Bohr says while an economic downturn is never enjoyable, at least it's not a full-blown recession. I'm Pete Demetrio, KNX News 97.1 FM.
The LA County Sheriff's Department is denying an accusation from the feds that it deliberately delays concealed carry permits to really block people from getting them. The DOJ says in a lawsuit that eligible people are having extreme difficulty getting the gun permits, not because they're outright being refused, but through what it calls a deliberate pattern of unconscionable delay, often up to a year. LASD says this is not true, greatly exaggerated. So far this year, they've already issued more than 5,000 permits. Malibu's volunteer fire rebuilding ambassador made a surprising announcement at the city council meeting this week.
With deep regret and after careful reflection, I'm resigning as the Rebuild Ambassador for the city of Malibu, effective immediately.
Abe Roy, who is a professional builder himself, said the building process has been so slow, only 2 permits have been issued in about 10 months.
I don't need a title to keep asking tough questions or holding those responsible accountable. I'm not cut out for the depraved politics that I've just witnessed, so I will focus on what I do best, build. Our community is hurting, deeply hurting, and I remain committed to our cause.
The LA Times says he wrote an email to the council yesterday saying the mayor, Marianne Reagan, should consider stepping down. Reagan spoke at the council meeting about the slow process, telling frustrated people there the city will make things better.
We have a lot of things that affect our homes here, and so we have incredibly stringent building codes. And there are corrections, there are adjustments. I recognize those things need to be done. Our staff recognizes those things need to be done, and they are being implemented and they need to be changed, and we are making those steps.
The Palisades fire destroyed 720 buildings, mostly homes there in Malibu. 5:50, it's your money and the real estate report now from Bloomberg.
For the first time in 5 weeks, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, edging up to 6.46% last week. That may be a big reason that mortgage applications took a tumble, down nearly 13% a week ago, much of that with a pullback on refis of existing loans. Meantime, a typical luxury house in the U.S. saw its selling price rise 4% in August year over year. The average is $1.25 million. Of course, not in the L.A., SoCal area. That's according to Redfin. But even as prices rose, sales of high-end homes that month were the lowest for the month of August in a decade. So things may be slowing down. Modest gains this hour on Wall Street, despite that partial government shutdown. More signs of a weakness, though, in the labor market, with 32,000 private sector jobs lost in September, is fueling hopes for another interest rate cut from the Fed when it meets later this month.
I'm Tom Busby from the Ogeron Law Injured Workers Hotline Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM.
We are surrounded by countless heroes across Southern California who step up with bravery and compassion to help our community in times of need. They also inspire and motivate us. I'm Heather Jordan. Nominate a KNX Helpful Honda Hero of the Week by sending an email to heroes@knxnews.com.
If you've been hurt in a car crash or on the job, don't just hope for help, demand results. Postman Law delivers fast, easy, and effective representation fighting to get you more. Call 844-POSTMAN for a free case evaluation. It's free to get started. You pay nothing unless we win for you. Others promise. Postman delivers. Call 844-POSTMAN today. That's 844-POSTMAN.
Ah, the Florida coast. Vrbo has over 57,000 exclusive vacation homes on the Florida coast. That's 57,000 vacation homes Airbnb wishes they had. Make it a Vrbo for your next Florida coast trip. That's 57,000 vacation homes Airbnb wishes they had. Make it a Vrbo for your next Florida coast trip.
Caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain Scent Boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
I'm Rhett. And I'm Link. And we're the hosts of the podcast Ear Biscuits. We're just two lifelong friends who've been talking about life for a long time.
From being dads to businessmen to all the random things we experience, nothing is off limits.
And now we're talking to you. We're answering your questions, giving advice that you may or may not want to take, and listening to your hilarious stories.
So leave us a voicemail to be part of the show at
1-888-EARPOD-1 on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
As we've been saying, unfortunately, no big breakthrough of any kind to report on the government shutdown front. The Senate went home after one vote. They're not coming back until Friday. There were no negotiations at all today, and the two sides are far apart on the issue of the health care subsidies. So no telling when the government shutdown will end. I do have a reminder that there is no tolerance for bullies this month. Larry Perrell has that.
It is National Bullying Prevention Month. Monica Harmon is the executive director at Speak Out Against Bullying and holds events to raise awareness and get the message out to parents, teachers, and students.
It's very detrimental to the well-being of other kids. Kids are afraid to go to school, and keep remembering to be kind to your fellow classmate. If you're a victim, to report it.
She says there are tools and resources schools can use to combat bullying, including one her organization encourages.
We ask the principals to put a speak out box in the main office because kids are afraid to say that they're a victim. With the speak out box, they can put public safety issues, someone's hurting them or making them feel bad.
Harmon says once a bully is identified, they often look to the home where the behavior of parents often makes its way onto school campuses. I'm Larry Perrell, KNX News 97.1 FM.
5:55. One more time, Scott Bird, brought to you by Providence Financial.
Yes, sir. So we're going to start off with our 10 crash here, westbound. This is basically on Kellogg Hill here before you get to Holt Avenue or just west of Villa Verde. We've got a carpool left lane blocked. It was a motorcycle wreck that is jammed through the Kellogg interchange. There may be a new wreck in the area as well. I'll have to keep an eye on it. But again, 10 westbound, tough there, leaving Pomona. Getting over to about Kellogg Hill. We had multiple problems on the 91 this afternoon eastbound. One at the truck scales, the other one at Gypsum, which is more or less 241. Southern California Toyota dealers, Instant IV. It looks like they're clearing these wrecks, but it is heavy back to the 57, and that in turn affected the North 55, which is much, much worse than normal from the 405 getting up toward the 91. Speaking of, the 405 southbound, tough there from about Santa Monica Boulevard down through La Tijera, more slowing from the 105 through the South Bay. And if you're trying to get to the Valley, pretty tough ride there north on the 405 out of Culver City, pretty much up to the 5. And it looks like our van is clear west 118 at Balboa. Do see some east 118 slowing through Port Ranch. Expect some reduced speeds into Granada Hills. Concerned about retirement? Anthony Sakara, Providence Financial, wants to show you over retirees with his bestseller, More Life Than Money. Buy to barnesandnoble.com or get a free copy now while supplies last by going to morelifethanmoneybook.com and typing in CanX. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Irvine Auto Center 24-hour traffic center.
72 degrees in L.A. Until next time, take it easy. I'm Alex Silverman. Have a great night.
You're a pro. You can make a 5-ton HVAC condenser purr like a sleeping kitten. Weeds cower at your mere presence. The only thing cleaner than your clients' homes is your reputation. So why is a pro like you still stuck in the endless cycle of paperwork, scheduling, spreadsheets, and chasing invoices? Automate your office and get back to what you love with Jobber, the all-in-one tool that fits your entire office in your back pocket. Start your free trial today at jobber.com.
You Must Remember This is the podcast dedicated to stories from the secret and forgotten histories of 20th century Hollywood. Stories of sex, murder, institutional racism, bad men, sad women, fascist gossip columnists, and much more. Our new season is called The Old Man Is Still Alive, and it's about directors like Alfred Hitchcock and John Ford who got started in the silent era, but were still making movies in the psychedelic 60s. Follow and listen to You Must Remember This on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you've been hurt in a car crash or on the job, don't just hope for help, demand results. Postman Law delivers fast, easy, and effective representation fighting to get you more. Call 844-POSTMAN for a free case evaluation. It's free to get started. You pay nothing unless we win for you. Others promise. Postman delivers. Call 844-POSTMAN today. That's 844-POSTMAN.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
KNX FM and HD, Los Angeles.
This is Southern California's news.
Coming up, legendary Dr. Jane Goodall dies at the age of 91, just before she was supposed to speak in Pasadena. Game 2 of the Dodgers wild card series against the Reds getting underway in minutes, and two sisters who believed their mom abandoned them decades ago learn what really happened.
Only on KNX News 97.1 FM.
It's 6 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Peter King. How do furloughed government workers survive a government shutdown? FDA microbiologist Stephanie Rogers is also the single mother of two.
It's always very concerning how we're going to survive day to day.
The Trump administration is threatening to turn furloughed into fired for thousands of workers. White House correspondent Weijia Jiang.
It is notable that in previous shutdowns, federal workers have been furloughed or placed on unpaid leave, but not fired. This is a different scenario because the White House directed the agencies and departments to consider permanent layoffs. And the White House press secretary said that they are imminent.
No more talks are expected until Friday due to the Yom Kippur observance tonight and tomorrow. The Trump administration says putting federal law enforcement officers in Memphis has been the right decision. Here's CBS's Nicole Skanga.
Roughly 650 law enforcement personnel from 19 agencies are now walking the streets of Memphis. During their first 2 days on the ground, U.S. government data we obtained shows that 52 arrests were made. Of those, 36 were criminal arrests for charges involving illegal firearms, drugs, warrants, but 17 were civil immigration arrests.
Jane Goodall has died. Her name, of course, synonymous with conservation and preservation since the 60s, when her research found that chimpanzees use tools and create complex societies just like we do. Scientist Jeffrey Flocken is with the Humane World for Animals and was his personal friend of Goodall's.
Since she gained a voice globally as a spokesperson for animal welfare, animal rights, and saving the planet, she used that tirelessly.
Jane Goodall was 91. Nothing yet from Hamas after President Trump's latest peace proposal. Here's CBS's Deborah Patta.
Gaza continues to burn as Hamas weighs up its response to the U.S. peace proposal. And the Israeli military presses on with its offensive, launching strikes across the territory.
A new honor for the late President Jimmy Carter. Here's WSB's Jonathan O'Brien.
Inside the packed auditorium at the Carter Center, Postal Service officials and family members gathered to unveil the new Forever stamp, which honors America's 39th president on what would have been his 101st birthday. His grandson, Jason Carter, says
it's his first birthday since he passed, and it's a wonderful way to celebrate. I mean, we're very excited. We all love the stamp. It's good to have such a good group of people together to celebrate him.
Postal Service officials say through his conduct and accomplishments, Carter personified the best of America. Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
From the DTLA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is Southern California's news.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
6:03 on your Wednesday. Good evening. I'm Margaret Carrero. More now on the passing of Jane Goodall at the age of 91. Dr. Goodall was an English zoologist who has long been considered the world's foremost expert on chimpanzees after studying them for 60 years. She was expected to launch a student-led tree planting initiative at EF Academy in Pasadena today, but the event turned somber at the announcement of her death. Our Karen Adams was there.
The event here was celebratory, with students gathered ready for Dr. Goodall to kick off the Trees movement of planting 5,000 trees to replace what LA's wildfires destroyed in Altadena and Pasadena. But then the announcement.
The Jane Goodall Institute has learned this morning, Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, that Dr. Jane Goodall, DBE, UN Messenger of Peace, and the founder of the Jane Goodall Institute, has passed away due to natural causes.
Then a video from Dr. Goodall was played for the students. Here's a portion of it.
Think about our ecological footprint. And I think the most key thing is to realize that every day on this planet, you make a difference. And if you start thinking about the consequences of the small choices you make, what you buy, where did it come from, how was it made, was there child slave labor, did it harm the environment, what do you eat, did it involve cruelty to animals? If you start thinking like that, and millions of people around the world are thinking like that, then you start to get the kind of world that we can not be too embarrassed to leave to our children.
It was followed by a standing ovation and moment of silence. During a ceremonial tree planting, LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger and Pasadena City Councilman Rick Cole said Dr. Goodall's legacy will live on through the Trees initiative.
It's going to continue our legacy because we're going to make sure that, especially here, that it lives on. You know, with the devastation up in Altadena, we know that the trees were a defining feature of Altadena.
So this is a symbol of hope, but it's more than that. Hundreds, thousands of trees are going to be planted and carry on the work, the global work of Dr. Goodall.
It's estimated the Eaton fire destroyed 50% of Altadena's tree canopy. In Pasadena, I'm Karen Adams, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
We've been telling you all day about the federal government shutdown. It's going to last through at least Friday because the Senate has adjourned. They will not be in tomorrow because of Yom Kippur. So we will have more for you throughout the evening here on KNX News with certainly the blame game going around. Right now, though, 6:05. Let's get a check on that drive for you. Scott Burt in the Irvine Auto Center Traffic Center.
Tony, the engineer, called us. He's on the 10 San Bernardino Freeway. He just, first of all, he said he can't recommend the West 10. Neither can I. We have this wreck here on Kellogg Hill, 10 westbound. Coming up on Holt, this is a downed motorcyclist, apparently with a pretty nasty leg wound. I think they're getting things off the freeway here, but kind of looks like they may have been trying to locate some people that may have fled the scene of this crash. Hard to say here. There looked to be a little extra police activity, but 1-point carpool, left lane blocked. And again, as Tony mentioned, it's ridiculous. It's basically jammed out of Pomona, not moving at all. Parking lot status there. And Tony, I don't know if you're heading east or west, but looks like it's pretty slow there on the 10 eastbound from Kellogg Hill out through Pomona as well. And before you get there, slow from the 710 as you work your way out through the 605 into the San Fernando Valley here, southbound 405 at Roscoe Boulevard. We've got a tree or something, or debris from a tree in lanes. I do see a little slowing behind that. And then up ahead, slow Santa Monica Boulevard through La Tijera, northbound 405, Margaret, slowing out of Culver City into the San Fernando Valley.
All right, Scotty, thank you so much. First pitch less than a minute away over at Dodger Stadium, where the boys in blue are looking to close out the Reds in a wild card sweep. And now our Natalie Davidian is there live. Natalie, I saw an overhead shot of Dodger Stadium on ESPN ahead of the game starting. It looks packed.
Incredible, right? The energy is buzzing, Margaret. Fans were on their feet as the Dodgers took the field just moments ago for this pivotal game 2 of the 3-game series. And LA can wrap it up right here at home. I've been speaking with fans all day. What's your name? Hi, Michael. Talk to me about this postseason energy here. What does it feel like? What are you feeling?
Feels really good. I'm a little nervous because of our bullpen situation, obviously. That's been a big question mark. But defending World Series champions, feeling good about it, and especially with Yamamoto going today, it feels good.
Everybody's thinking it. Dodgers fans want that back-to-back. What would that mean for you?
It would mean everything because, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so I was a little too young to experience Kirk Gibson's World Series. So the fact that we beat the Yankees last year was all I ever needed. So the idea of winning 2 in a row is just basically unreal.
Game 1 was a little bit of a roller coaster, especially toward the end there. How are you feeling about Game 2?
Feeling a lot better because of Yamamoto. I know he historically gets low run support, and that might be an issue with our bullpen. So I'm cautiously optimistic today, but very, very positive.
Dodgers fans are always optimistic. Yeah. That's what I love about talking to Dodgers fans.
Gotta be. Yeah.
I love asking people, if you were to say something, a message to the boys in blue, what would it be?
Never give up. It's never over.
And it's one step at a time, Margaret. A win tonight means that the Dodgers would advance to face Philadelphia in the division series.
Yeah, no doubt going to be an exciting night. Thank you, Natalie. So investors are not putting their money into building affordable new apartments in L.A. That's why there's lots of new luxury ones. Emily Valdez with that story.
It all comes down to return on investment.
Some recent work I did compared production costs for multifamily housing in California and different regions in California with costs in other states that included Texas and Colorado.
Jason Ward is an economist with the Rand Center on Housing and Homelessness.
And what that report showed was that, on average, to build an apartment in Los Angeles costs about 2 to 2.5 times the amount it costs to build the same apartment in Texas on average, and just a little under twice the amount it costs to build the same apartment in Colorado. So when you think about these costs being so high in LA, this basically sets a floor on what kind of rents you have to be able to obtain to make a project to be financially feasible.
Ward says for a while it was easier for developers to build government-subsidized affordable housing after Mayor Bass sped up the project approval time, but Ward says that process is once again slowing. I'm Emily Valdez, KNX News 97.1 FM.
A top Trump administration advisor says ICE agents will be at the Super Bowl. Corey Lewandowski made those comments on a podcast with the conservative host Benny Johnson after we learned Bad Bunny will headline the halftime show.
There is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you. We will apprehend you. We will put you in a detention facility and we will deport you. So know that that is a very real situation under this administration, which is completely contrary to how it used to be.
Bad Bunny, who is Puerto Rican and therefore a U.S. citizen, had said earlier he wouldn't tour on the U.S. mainland to protect his fans from ICE. Lewandowski called it shameful that the NFL has picked someone, he said, seems to hate America so much. It's 6:11.
Halloween's here. Costumes, candy, and maybe a few scares. But nothing scarier than being ghosted by your insurance company after an accident. At Postman Law, we've delivered over $3 billion to our clients, and we make it simple. Speed, ease, results. With free case evaluations and no fee unless we win, you're never left in the dark. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers. This is attorney advertising.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all day freshness.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out
Starts effortless. From a simple soundbar to total control, it's just one touch. Call 310-899-29. Starts effortless. From a simple soundbar to total control, it's just one touch. Call 310-899-2929 for a consultation or visit justonetouch.com.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night.
ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this, Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Good evening. I'm Margaret Carrero. Coming up on KNX News 97.1 FM. It has only just begun, and it already looks like there will be no early end to the federal government shutdown. We will talk live with a California political analyst. Plus, the Dodgers underway at Chavez Ravine in Game 2 of the playoffs against the Cincinnati Reds. We will take you back out live to Dodger Stadium. Right now, 6:15, traffic brought to you by DTLA Law Group, accident and injury attorneys. Here is Scott Burt.
Okay, Doug. So 10 West, right at Villa Verde, actually between Villa Verde and Holt, had an injury crash there with a motorcyclist for a good 30, 40 minutes, actually. They had some of the left lanes blocked. It looks like things are getting better now. It's still going to be slow, though, pretty much through Pomona here. So if you can opt for the 60 going westbound through Diamond Bar there, leaving Chino out through the 57, you will be better off. We'll call that your instant route change. Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We have an additional problem on the 10, but much further to the west here, the Santa Monica Freeway. Injury crash just reported here, 10 east at the 405. Looks like a car and maybe an SUV involved. So trying to get that one to the right-hand shoulder, but expect it to add to some of the slowing here, basically leaving 20th. It will stay pretty tough through the mid-city area up over to the East Hill Interchange. 10 westbound, pretty heavy as well. Across the downtown floor, does pick up once you cross the 110 freeway. LAX drive south 405 is tough starting at Santa Monica Boulevard through La Tijera. Actually kind of stays slow almost to the 105. And then from Century, it's really tough through the South Bay. Basically some on and off slowing toward Long Beach. And 105 eastbound, heavy starting at the 405 on and off slowing will continue pretty much to the 605 freeway there. 91 east by comparison, slow leaving the 110. Expect on and off heavy traffic out through North Long Beach into Bellflower. If you've had an injury, accident, a slip and fall, or been victimized by an assault, the injury help you need is just to text away. Text injury help to 40222. DTLA Law Group's California's top injury law firm. Text injury help to 40222 or Google calldowntown.com for a free case review. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Irvine Auto Center 24-hour traffic center.
It is day one of the federal government shutdown, and it's already not looking good that there will be a deal reached anytime soon to bring it to an end. Republicans and Democrats just pointing the finger, blaming each other, and there's not going to be any talks over the shutdown in the Senate tomorrow because the chamber will be closed for Yom Kippur. For more now, we are joined live by political analyst David McEwen of Sonoma State. So at this point, David, who seems to be winning this battle of blame? I mean, are voters going to pin this on Schumer or Trump?
All right, so there's a long time to go between now and Trump's second midterm election next year in 2026. So, and if you look at the polling, Democrats, in terms of approval, in the sense that it's not their fault, it's the Republicans' fault, they slightly come out ahead. You add independent voters, it helps Democrats a little bit. It's still a pox on all houses as we move out over some time, which also becomes a problem for getting a deal. So what happens in the near term, say the first week after a shutdown versus the second week? That's when about 14 days out, federal employees will be missing a paycheck. It's really that first component of the first week, the second week, and then things change and they could go out much, much longer, perhaps even exceeding that 35-day shutdown in 2018.
What do you make of the strategy so far by both sides here?
Yeah, so here's the problem. For Democrats, they are being asked to vote on an appropriations bill which takes 60 votes. And what that means is 7 of them have to cross the aisle and vote with Republicans. That's for an appropriations for what's called a continuing resolution to move this forward. But it only takes 50 votes for a rescission. A rescission is to rescind the current year's appropriation. So Democrats are being asked to do something where they don't think a deal that they cut will last. It will lead to rescission. There's already precedent for that. And so they've been talking a lot about health care because health care polls very well for them. Medicare cuts, Medicaid cuts, what happens with covered California, all a big deal. Red states and blue states, but they think it polls better for them. For Republicans, they think they can blame Democrats in the near term. It's what happens again after about a week or two, or when there's a sick strike that calls in, when a number of FAA air traffic controllers call in sick. 10 of them did this in 2019, early 2019, and it brought that 35-day shutdown to a halt. If that were to happen, it would create a different dynamic. So pay attention to what happens at airports with TSA agents and, of course, with FAA air traffic controllers.
Given how we see both sides really just kind of digging in their heels, are you expecting this to be a lengthy shutdown?
Well, it looked like a week and a half ago there would be a short-term kind of cooling off period of 7 to 10 days to then set something forward for a short-term resolution that could happen until, say, December. But the dynamic in December won't necessarily change. So until we have a cooling off period, a pause where we can come back to the negotiation table, it's hard to see Democrats and Republicans budging on this in the near term. Yes, parks are closed. Yes, there is a slowdown in some federal services, but until that really begins to bite hard, after, again, about 14 days, the pressure in the near term certainly advantages the president, and he also thinks he can furlough millions of federal employees and wait for the court to have a decision, the Supreme Court. And so far, he's rolled that dice, and 20 of 21 times he's come out ahead.
What does recent political history teach us about how to bring this all to an end?
Yeah, I mean, it is when things begin to really harm the economy, like, for example, holiday travel or air traffic controllers. And again, if it doesn't have a sick out with time that they're entitled to while they're not being paid, if that were to happen, it would alter the dynamic for what happens with business travel, with consumer personal travel. All of that would have a dramatic effect, and that would lead to places that wings of airports could close because there aren't enough TSA agents. If we start to see that happening, then that'll put a lot of pressure on what comes next in terms of negotiations and bring them closer to the table. But right now, they are far, far apart.
Indeed, they are. Political analyst David McEwen, Sonoma State, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
6:21 now. Let's get a money check. Here's Bloomberg's Tom Busby.
Wall Street relieved that Pfizer's agreement with the Trump White House to lower what it charges Medicaid for prescription meds and to price drugs in the future on par with what it charges in other countries, all in exchange for a 3-year reprieve on drug import tariffs. One analyst says most Americans won't see any material change in what they pay for meds, sending shares of Pfizer up nearly another 7%, shares of Merck, Moderna, Novavax, and others all sharply higher. And that helped offset worries on Wall Street about the partial government shutdown and more weakness in the labor market, with 32,000 private sector jobs last month gone. The Dow today up 43, the Nasdaq up 95, the S&P up 23. Shares of the struggling chipmaker Intel up 7%, that company now partly owned by the U.S. government, on reports it's in talks to add AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, as a new customer. And average mortgage rates rose for the first time in 5 weeks, says the Mortgage Bankers Association, to 6.46%. I'm Tom Busby from the Ogeron Law Injured Workers Hotline Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM.
When you're stuck in LA traffic,
we get it. You just need to know why.
Every time I call in and I ask a question about a certain roadway, you guys answer it in your next traffic report. You guys are freaking awesome. I love you. Thank you.
Tell us where you're stuck and what you see at 844-KNX News.
Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change.
Halloween's here. Costumes, candy, and maybe a few scares. But nothing scarier than being ghosted by your insurance company after an accident. At Postman Law, we've delivered over $3 billion to our clients, and we make it simple. Speed, ease, results. With free case evaluations and no fee unless we win, you're never left in the dark. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers. This is attorney advertising.
That 3.
Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
I
I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
And together we have the podcast Office Ladies.
Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere.
Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow
Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
And together we have the podcast Office Ladies.
Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere.
Every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from The Office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Paid for by Hims and Hers Health. Plans not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are FDA approved and are the registered trademarks of Novo Nordisk AS, which is not affiliated with Hims and Hers.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At forhers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at